Hey guys, so I just woke up. It is 8 o'clock on Thursday, June 8th. This is going up today because I posted a video yesterday and I woke up this morning and I was literally shocked by the comments, and I rewatched it and I was like, Lauren, why are you like this? So I don't remember exactly what I said. I privated the video. Thank you for everyone who left a comment. I'm not upset or mad at you at all. I'm so glad you left a comment because I literally didn't even think it would be seen as the way that I said it. And after watching it back, I was like, oh my god, you literally sound like a terrible fucking person. So basically what I had said was that me and my friend make fun of people in the gym. I don't know how else I thought that would have been interpreted, but that was pretty much my wording. And that's just not what we do. Like I said, we bonded over that. I just want to 100% apologize. I'm not gonna make this an apology video, words. I'm not gonna make this an apology video. I'm actually gonna turn this into something informative because I saw all of the comments and I know a lot of you guys are beginners. I think half of the people who watch my channel are beginners, but I want you guys to know that I am so sorry. I don't want you guys to think that I go to the gym and I just sit around and judge people, because that's not what I do. And sometimes I'm not the nicest person in the Towson gym, and it's just because of the people that go there. Keep in mind, this is a university that just like drive you insane when you're trying to use the equipment. So when I see someone quarter squatting in the squat rack and they won't let me work in, like I'll ask them, I'm like, hey, like how many sets do you have left? And they're like, oh, 7. And I'm like, oh, okay, do you think I could maybe work in? And they're like, oh yeah, no, I don't think so. And you're just kind of like, this isn't your squat rack. We're all paying for this gym through our tuition. Okay. But I don't let it get to me. And then the second that I see them squatting incorrectly, not to the point where they're hurting themselves, just squatting incorrectly, it just gets so frustrating. And the first thing that I do is I just want to lash out. So I will literally talk about that person for a good like 2 minutes until I feel better, and then I'll stop. That's all I meant. So yeah, I do that every now and then. I can't pretend like I'm an angel. I'm really not the greatest person sometimes. I do 100% do that, but I never pick on beginners because I can tell personally who's a beginner, and I don't even like sometimes people will be like, oh, like look at that girl, like she's doing that exercise wrong, and I'll literally be like, well then why don't you tell her? And I would want someone to come over and say something to me if I was doing something wrong, but it's hard sometimes, you know? But the thing not to do is do what I do. Do not talk about people in the gym because it's not nice. Also, one more thing before we jump into this. If you don't even know what a quarter squatter is, basically a quarter squat is when you squat above parallel, like you don't even hit parallel. In order for it to be like a squat, you do need to hit parallel or below. And I just want you guys to know that the way that I squat is ridiculously low. You don't need to squat that low. Definitely not necessary. My mobility is just kind of low-key out of this world, and I've never had a problem squatting that low. But I don't want you guys to think that if you don't squat past parallel that you're doing something wrong or that people are judging you, because they aren't. Squatting parallel is correct. Squatting above that, you're not really doing anything anymore, which is usually why people have an issue. Now, obviously, everyone's mobility is going to be different, but it's something that everyone should work on because you're not getting anything out of squatting above parallel because it's just not a squat and you're not using the muscles to their most potential. You know what I mean? So because I'm not one of those YouTubers that just like makes apology videos for every single word that I say, because I don't think it's necessary, I'm gonna be myself and apologize when necessary. I thought I would turn this into more of an informative video because I saw a lot of those comments, and I just want you guys to know that as a beginner, you're gonna go through a lot of stuff. So I started lifting September of 2015. So I've been lifting for a little over a year and a half now. When I first started out at the gym, I just started in the mat section, and then I slowly moved my way to the machines, and then I slowly moved my way to the free weight section, and then later on I moved on to squat, and then I only just started benching and deadlifting because I really liked squatting, so I was like, hey, maybe I like some of the other powerlifting movements. And I really did. So I want you guys to know that when you first start out, that the best thing that you can possibly do for yourself is to just prepare yourself for the gym, because I'll tell you the initial feelings that I felt when I first started and I left cardio and I was like, hey, I want to build muscle or something. I wasn't even quite sure what I was doing, but I wanted to do something else and not focus so much on cardio, which I feel like a lot of girls have an issue with. So having a plan is a really good idea, because when I first went into the gym and I saw all the equipment and all the weights, I didn't even know like what to do. And it's nice because my university gym now, the way that they've set it up, because we're squashed in this little basketball gym, is you have your mat section over here with the little ball that people do ab stuff on. You have your bikes, you've got all the cardio machines, and then over in the corner you have the free weights. Over here you have all the machines, and then the cables are like breaking it in between, and then you have the squat rack and the Smith machine. So what you should do first is just take a lap around the gym, look at everything that they have. I know it's gonna feel weird, but literally just like throw your earphones in, or even ask a trainer if they can just walk you around the gym so you can see what all the machines are. Most machines will actually be labeled and they'll have a diagram of which muscle it's supposed to hit and sometimes some instructions. And so I would just do that, literally just do that the first day, and you can do a bit of cardio if that's what you were doing before, or you can just come in, maybe do some stretches on the mats, look around and leave. I promise no one's gonna be like, oh my god, that girl was only here for 5 seconds, why did she just leave? No one's paying attention to you to that extent. I feel like people only pay attention to other people when they're doing exercises, not so much when they're just like chilling. And to be honest, I am never paying attention to anyone because I don't like making eye contact with people, because then they will come over and talk to me. And when I'm at the gym, depending on who I'm with, I tend not like to talk. Like I'll only chat with people if I'm deadlifting, benching, or squatting, because that's stuff where I take a long rest in between. And once you know what all the machines are, then I would go on to bodybuilding.com, because they have tons and tons of information and exercises, or look on Instagram. I would check bodybuilding.com though first, because they have like the basic exercises, which is what I used when I first started out, whereas Instagram, I feel like most of the Instagram girls like piece together like all these random workouts, and you're doing some stuff that isn't really necessary. And when you're a beginner, I myself wish I didn't waste so much time doing all this random stuff that wasn't actually working my muscles, and just did the basics. So what you can do is, I think they have like a workouts page, and you can break it down by body part. So you should just create a brief plan of what you want to do the next day when you go to the gym. So decide whether you want to do upper body or lower body, or if you're someone who's not going to have enough time to go to the gym multiple times a week, then maybe just create a full body workout. So you can do arms, legs, shoulders, all of that, everything. But as a beginner, if you do have time to go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, I would definitely do an upper lower body split. So for upper body, you would do back, biceps, triceps, shoulders, and then chest if you want. And then lower body, you would focus on quads, calves, hamstrings, and your glutes. So that's how I would split it up, and then just alternate days and take rest breaks when you need to. As a beginner, you're going to naturally be really sore all the time. So push yourself to go to the gym, but also know like when you do need a rest break. It's perfectly fine if you need a couple days rest. I remember the first time that I did the leg press, I was sore for an entire week and I wasn't able to go back to the gym. And that's perfectly fine. But that's how it's going to be as a beginner, because your body's not used to that load. So another thing that I would do is when you're setting up your workouts, just do a couple. You don't need to do like 18 different exercises. I would do, if you're doing full body, I would just pick one exercise for each body part and then pick another exercise the next day for each body part and just kind of keep doing it like that. And if you're doing upper lower, I'd pick maybe 2 exercises per each body part. Otherwise, you'll probably be in the gym for a really, really long time. And do like 3 sets of each, maybe 4 sets of each. It's going to depend on you, your goals, what you need to grow. You may already have muscle in your body from previous sports that you played, or you may be starting from scratch, but I wouldn't overload your body too much at the very beginning, because I feel like once you're sore and you're out of the gym for like an entire week, when you go back, it's like you're sore and then you're out of the gym for an entire week again. So if you just start slowly with the amount of volume and load that you're putting on your body, I think that would help you out a lot more than you think. As a beginner, I think one of the best things that you can do is do your own research. So I get a lot of questions in the comments and I try and respond to all of them. I try and do Q&As often and help you guys with any issues that you're having. But sometimes I don't answer all of them, and I'll tell you guys just to Google it because you'll get more out of it than me telling you. And that's because a lot of the information that you need is really just on the internet. Like if you want to know how to grow your quads, look at some quad exercises. You can research how the quad muscle works. I know that seems like a lot for a lot of people. A lot of people are like, I don't really care, but I think it's easier when you know like what your muscles are doing, because then when it's time to train them, you have an easier connection with like mind to muscle, because you're like, oh, it should feel like this in this place. So knowing where your muscles are on the body is definitely very, very important, especially so you know that you're feeling it in the right muscle and not the wrong one. Now, if you don't want to do an upper lower split like that, you can actually break down the exercises into days like I do. So for example, I have 3 leg days, and those are all with my compound movements. So I'll squat on Mondays, I'll squat on Wednesdays, and squat and deadlift on Fridays or Saturdays, whatever day. It's one of those usually, depending on what I'm doing, how busy I am, because it usually takes a really long time. And then on Tuesdays, I will have my upper body focus day. So I will do back, biceps, and triceps. And then on Thursdays, I will do my lower body focus day, and I'll do quads and hamstrings. And then I'll also do shoulders. So the way I have it set up is set up with my goals in mind. So I don't train glutes just because I don't really need to isolate them anymore. But when I first started out, I isolated them a lot. I think I train glutes probably 2 times a week. I definitely don't think it's necessary to train them like, I'd say more than 3 times a week, because I feel like you don't get enough maximum recovery time. So for glutes, I would train them probably 2 times a week as a beginner, and then you can slowly increase it to 3 if you would like to. You're either going to be glute dominant or quad dominant, and you'll probably quickly find out through doing lower body exercises which of your muscle groups takes over. But I recommend just training both like consistently, because otherwise one will become a lot stronger than the other, and it will just be hard for you to use your quads, or it will be hard for you to use your glutes. Now, you're not completely in control of that, because all leg movements are probably going to use your quads and your glutes at some point. But when I'm talking about isolation exercises, maybe do a little more quads. If you're having trouble growing your quads and your glutes are going crazy, or vice versa. So just figure out that through maybe taking progress pictures. Like, I don't take them as much anymore, but I will take one like the month that I do my physique update, and then I'll take another one like 2 or 3 months later or something like that. But just keep in mind, this is going to be the next thing as a beginner, that you're going to get newbie gains like right away. That's why when people do at-home glute workouts and they do like the 30-day squat challenge and everything, they do see results, because your body isn't used to any stress being put on that muscle, and all of a sudden it is. But after that 30 days of doing bodyweight exercises, you're going to plateau, and it's just, you're virtually doing nothing. So now you'll have to introduce some more resistance, you'll have to introduce some weights, change up the exercises a little bit, just because your body is going to become stagnant basically with what it is that you're doing. So with results, when you first start out, you're gonna get those newbie gains, but after a while, it's going to slow down like crazy with body results and with strength results. So for myself, I would say I did not see any results in my glutes, like major results in my glutes, for at least 8 to 9 months, which is actually a lot sooner than most people will see that. And you guys will know I'm glute dominant, and obviously my genetics have a play as well. So I think that because I am like genetically blessed in my glutes, pretty much the speed at which they grew them is going to be a lot faster than yours. Now that might not be 100% true, but every single person is different. So I would never look at how long it took someone to grow a certain muscle group, because their genetics are going to be a factor, the food that they were eating, the amount of calories they were eating. There's so many factors that you don't know. So don't focus so much on how long it took someone else, because it's not going to be the same for you. So regarding motivation in the gym, that's going to be something that is just going to be within yourself. You're either going to be motivated or you're not. But either way, you just kind of have to self-motivate yourself to go to the gym. Like, I have tons of days where I just don't feel like going to the gym. But once I'm there, I'm so glad I went. And then I have other days where I was really excited to go to the gym, and the second I start working out, I want to leave. Sometimes I will leave. Like, if my anxiety is really, really bad and I'm like, this is just not a good time, I will just leave. Just know when it's okay to be like, okay, I won't go today, and when you should just push yourself. Because once you start saying every single day, oh, it's okay if I don't go, you're probably never going to go to the gym, because you're always going to be making an excuse about why you didn't go. And it will be so long at this point that you don't even remember what you felt like when you were at the gym, and you don't know that the endorphins are released, and because you can't remember because it's been so long. So just try and find things in the gym that you enjoy doing and that make you want to go. So if that's cardio, do cardio. If that's weights, do weights. Powerlifting, do powerlifting. Cycling, classes, whatever it may be. You guys don't have to lift weights. That's just what I do. And that's how I have reached my goals, and I really, really enjoy it. But not everyone likes lifting weights, so just find something that you enjoy. You're not lesser of a person because you enjoy cycling and being on the thinner side, and I enjoy weights and being on the more curvier toned side. Like, it's up to you what you want to look like, how you feel when doing certain things. But if you're in the gym and you don't like an exercise because it's hard, that's something that's different. Because I literally hate benching because I suck at it. But I don't hate benching because, like, I don't enjoy the exercise. Like, I enjoy the exercise, I just hate that I suck at it. But the only way that I can get better at something is by continuing to do it. So if you want to look better, if you want to feel better, if you want to move more weight, then you have to consistently go to the gym. There's just no way around that, and it gets easier. I think probably the first month I was really, really pumped, really excited to be there, even though I wasn't doing much of anything. And then after like a month, I'd say month 2.5, I was kind of like, meh, I'm not seeing many results. I don't know if I like this. Month 3, I was like, maybe I'll switch it up, introduce some weights, and then I immediately liked it. So the second that you find something, I promise you will get that click and you'll want to go to the gym nonstop. Like, I remember I wanted to go to the gym every single day. I tried to go from going 3 times a week to 5 times a week. My body freaked out. I literally lost my period for that month because I was expending too much energy, not eating enough food, and not getting enough recovery time. So I'm like the extreme of gym goers because I constantly want to be there, but you have to know you can't be at the gym 24/7 if your body starts reacting like that. So I dropped it back down to 3, slowly moved up to 4, and eventually moved up to 5 this year. But it's gonna take some time. I know that's not gonna be a lot of people's problems, like, oh, I go to the gym too much, but If you're like me and you really, really do like it, just slowly pace yourself. And if you're not like me, slowly move yourself into going a little bit more. You don't need to automatically start out doing 4 times a week, because chances are you're not going to be able to stick to that. You're going to be super, super sore. So it's going to be hard for you to hit those muscle groups as often, especially if you do an upper body lower split or you do a full body split, because your muscles are still going to be fatigued and the next day you're supposed to be going to the gym. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I'm so sorry again to anyone who I offended. It was not my goal. It's never my goal. You guys are my fam. I don't want you guys to think that I'm over here being a terrible person 24/7, because I promise that's not the case. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If you guys want to see any specific beginner videos, let me know, because obviously I'm in England right now and I have plenty of time to film stuff, so hopefully I can put out some more informative informative content in between my vlogs if you guys would like to see that. But I'm gonna end this here. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I'll see you on my next one. I love you.